Hey guys, Lex the Gray here. Welcome to episode 5 of our Savage World solo one-shot called Cold Extraction. I've had a few visual changes here. Back to the whiteboard for this one. I was experimenting in the last episode using that mat, but to be honest, I prefer the whiteboards. So I also combined the character sheets into this one paper here, and change of dice, and the character portraits you see on the screen on the bottom right with Jax and Keera, they're now kind of in the theme of Cowboy Bebop. Brute is hiding over here. He's also been redesigned, but since he's not actually in this episode, as far as we can tell, he is going to be hiding away. Now, like I mentioned in the last episode, we left off with our team, Keera and Jax, encountering this tier 2 enemy. It's a large green blob with these very strange vines growing out of its lower side. So it's blocking the stairwell into this strange facility. Now, I've also retconned a few things. Or I should say just one thing, the location itself. This is not a greenhouse experimental facility for plants. It is just a depot. I decided to call it Depot number 3. So when our team found the entrance, that is what they saw labeled above the door, Depot 3, which means to me there are others. That's what I feel led to Keera being so curious, and she wanted to go inside this strange hidden structure within the mountain. Now, I had a very good comment in my last video about Keera's tablet and how it was used to hack a numpad that isn't really logically possible in the manner pointed out by the commenter. So I will do my best to level things out as far as what they can do with their tools. But again, this is fiction, so some things will be stretched. We are already encountering a strange blob, but the comment was appreciated because I don't want her tablet to be this device that can do everything, like hack her way into practically any known or obsolete system. I want it to have limitations. So I will keep that in mind, and I have an idea as how we can fix that, or change it, I should say. Now, back to our gameplay. Keera was almost grabbed by one of these vines by this tier 2 creature. Tier 2 meaning it's a D6. D4 would be tier 1. So they are going to fight it. Thus, they are in an encounter. Let's see what the initiative will be. Let's roll D6 for our team. Okay, 5. Let's roll a wild die. 2. And then for the enemy, 3. We go first. And as you can hear, I have this strange ambient void background sound effect to kind of emphasize, to have an atmospheric feel to where our team is currently located. So we're going first. Thus, I'm going to have Jax run up the stairs to attack the creature head on with his fighting. He has a D10 die for that. So that will be a D6 and a D10. Attacking with his... Actually, that would not be smart. First, he's going to try his gun. So let's walk him back a bit. He's going to step up a little closer and fire his pump action shotgun at that green blob. But does it have any effect? So his shooting is a D8. with the wild die, and that will be target number 4. And the 8 on the D8 aces, we roll again. That's going to be 12. However, because it's a blob creature, I'm going to give a -2 here. However, with the 10 total over 4, that's 1 ace, thus it takes a wound. And that one shot was actually, oh no, I'm sorry, we got to roll for damage. So that's a hit with an extra d6. I'll keep that wound close by. That's a hit. I almost combined the attack of damage. So target number was 4. -2. We have 10 total. Thus, that's 1 raise, which gives him an extra d6 of damage. With his pump action shotgun, that delivers a total of 3d6 damage. So we'll grab 3d6s and a 4th d6 to roll for damage. All right, so toughness is 6 based on the tier 2. That's 10. Oh, and the 6 actually aced. So basically this creature is dead. Because we have 6, we have 4, that's 10, 11, 12. And that's 4 already raised over, which means this creature's been destroyed. So in that one shot, the creature is obliterated, blows apart like a balloon, like a water balloon, and guts squirt across the wall on the opposite side. So one clean shot, and that creature turned into a box office bomb. So I'm going to reveal the hallway here, and also that, let me get the green marker, because that has to stay in theme. I'll keep this marker close by, because we'll be drawing the rooms as we go. But basically, just a big splat with this gun. That was a great shot. Okay. I forgot these have little magnets here. All right, so he lowers his gun and kind of looks at Keera and says, "That was easier than I thought." And Keera is just, she is literally dumbfounded what just happened. She has her arms up like, what? How? What was that thing? So Jax is thinking that this area, if they have encountered this big blob at the first entrance to this area, they're going to expect more. So Jax, again, she questions Keera, "Do you think this is all worth it? Shouldn't we go back on the main mission?" Now, Keira has an idea. She thinks that if they can find anything here that's of value, then perhaps they can use it to convince the broker, who is the secretive character who is paying our team for this job, to give them more higher payment. If they find anything here that might be of value, they can give it to the broker and convince them for future work, basically as an advantage. So Jax does like the idea, but he's also worried about Brute, who is probably halfway on his way to the Arclight facility. And to be honest, he's trying to convince Keira, we need to go to the facility. This is a waste of time. This place is probably cleaned out. She argues, well, the entrance was camouflaged. There was lasers that weren't tripped, which means nobody has been here for the past 20, 30 years, or whenever this facility was closed or abandoned, locked down. The fact there was this strange mutant creature means there's more danger here. So the team is basically they are in an impasse here. I, as the GM, want them to explore this area, but we have a mission that has to be done. This entire underground hidden depot could have anything. I'm sure some of you are yelling at the screen, just explore, but I'm also considering the factors that they have mission and the characters wouldn't be stupid enough to do this. However, I'm considering the edge or the hindrance that is major for her, and that's curious. She is curious to explore this underground government facility that's been abandoned for decades. So I have to go along with the hindrance and not just brush it off. It's major. If it was hidden, maybe she would have got up to the entrance and says, might be too dangerous. But Jax takes a sigh. He says, we're gonna get killed here. She walks upstairs carefully, looks around, and Jax follows behind. The vines are beginning to disintegrate. They're kind of growing up, decaying. They are decaying, growing old, turn to gray, and they turn to dust if you touch it or kick it or even move it. So we need to check with the Oracle here. What happens when she enters this hallway that is just up the flight of stairs? So two things, one for action. That is, let's see. Oh, I need to roll a D100, not two D10s. There we go. 53. Goals, 63. Oh, natural. Okay, goals, natural. One more for descriptor. Goals, natural, 2. Artificial. Goals, natural, artificial. Okay, so this is something that's going through Jax's mind. He is being very, very stubborn here. Goals, it represents the mission of this whole one shot, is to find the item that we will eventually discover and detail what it is exactly. Natural, meaning this area here is a natural part of Keera's wants. Artificial is that this whole area is man-made. I'm trying to make sense of that. It's kind of a confusing role, but artificial, natural, and goals. Perhaps it's what's going through her head. The artificial is that she's thinking there'll be something valuable in this site. Perhaps that might be best described if we continue on. So, she walks up here. She looks both ways, and she sees the hallway continues on the left, west bank, turns here. The hall makes a right, and there's a door, a large security door right here. So now we're actually making this turn into a dungeon crawl. Almost. So there is that smell that we can't forget, and it's lingering more on the left side. That strange aroma is coming from the left. Jax is going to enter the frame here alongside Keera. He still has a shotgun ready because they again encounter that large blob. He asks her, does your tablet have any info on this place? She's using her tablet as we speak. And I'm going to say her tablet is actually mounted, strapped onto her left arm because she's conveniently able to access it fairly quickly. So she's going to do a scan of the infrastructure of this whole immediate area. What we'll do here is a roll that will not only determine if it's successful, but will also aid the narrative. I'm trying to figure out what skill would be used here. Knowledge, perhaps, and notice. I'm going to mix those two ones together. So knowledge and notice, which her knowledge is a D8, her notice is a D6, and then the extra D6 for the wild die. But because she's inside a mountain, it might mess with her electronics if it requires signal to operate. So we lost signal earlier in the campaign, in the one shot. She got the signal back, but we're inside this very large mountain. So let's roll the -2 penalty. So the 7 is a success. That was the D8, which was knowledge. -2 is a 5, so that is standard a success. Her tablet can only map the immediate area. It does have some dots, some notifications appear saying it has it senses some nearby life forms. So let's say it's some red dots appearing on her tablet, but while she's looking at it, they hear a noise coming from this left side. And as they ready themselves to what that noise was, I will mention the tablet revealed that there is a room behind this door, but as it was scanning, it mapped out only that much, and then this is a hallway to a T. So as they're hearing this strange groaning noise, and they hear these very unusual footsteps, like 2 feet, one's dragging, one's a step. They prepare themselves, they believe someone's coming, so Jax gets in front, and he tells Keera, see, I told you, this place is absolutely too dangerous to be here. We need to get out. And while they're standing there, another creature appears. This is a scientist, a literal zombie, a scientist who pops out as he's walking to both Keera and Jax. He is deformed. His skin is gray. Half of his face is blown off, so you can actually see the inside of his head and brains, but he has the appearance of a zombie, but with gray skin. And he's walking and he moans just like a zombie would. Groans, I should say. Moans. Groans like a zombie. So he's a tier 2 character, a tier 2 enemy, and he stops. He sees Jax and Keera. He then is going to attack. So let's roll for initiative. We have both. Let's roll d6 for the zombie, the scientist zombie, and then us. Okay, we go first. So once again, let's do an ammo check, which will be 75%, if I recall correctly, for the shotgun. 75%. Yep, still have ammo. Okay, now his shooting is going to be a d8 with a d6. He is right in front of the zombie. And that's actually a 4, so that's a hit. For damage, 3d6. The zombie has a d6, d6, or I should say a 6 of toughness. So, okay, 6, 5, that's 11, 13, and the toughness of 6 is going to be 1 raise. Okay, so it's wounded, it gets blown back, but now it's still alive, but it's been reduced to a tier 1. So now its lower half has been blown off, and now it's crawling to Keera. Now it's Keira's turn. She steps back. She's kind of worried, and she's freaking out like this is a zombie right in front of them. Jax seems unfazed because he was expecting something strange. She has her. Let's see. She has a Derringer, so she'll take her Derringer. Her shooting is d6 with the wild die. Okay, and that's going to be a hit with one of the dice. So that's a 5. That's a hit. She takes a shot at the brain, at the head, whatever's left of it. And the Derringer is 2d6 plus 1 for damage. 2d6 plus 1. That's 1 ace. So that's a 5. So that's 10, 16. Toughness of 6 plus 1. So we have 16, 17 damage on the toughness of 6. That is 2 raises. So I'm going to give her a Benny for that. So there's, again, I'm using a pool now. They're not 3 per character. They're totaled to what each character would have, but they're pooled, so they can use it for either characters. So I gave her a Benny for that. Then this gun straight to the remaining part of the brain and kills the creature, kills the zombie. So I'll mark where that creature was killed, right here. But Jax is wondering, the fact that it was a scientist, actually this would be more so Keera. She walks up to the zombie with the gun still aiming at its head. It doesn't move, it's dead. Or it's deactivated. It's been neutralized. And she searches the coat pocket of the lab coat. And she finds the following, which will be, based on our oracle, we'll say a D100 here. What does she find? Well, two descriptors. 61, mysterious. 23, disagreeable. Okay. Not really sure how to make that out. So let's say she finds a key card. She finds a old key card in the pocket of the uh, lab coat. So she takes the key card. We add that to her inventory. Let's say it's blue. Somehow I'm still in the zombie's lab coat for 20 plus years. Okay, so Jax asks, "What'd you find?" She said, "I found a key card. It's a rather old piece of tech." So she sees now her back is turned to this path here. Is there anything behind her? I'm going to say yes. There's most likely something behind her, which means we're rolling for, let's say 75% chance. Oh, I'm sorry, I rolled the wrong one again. 75% chance. There is. Okay, so there's another wandering creature, but this one is another T2 and surprises her from behind, swipes at her. Jax barely has a moment to react. So I'm going to do a notice roll for Jax. This other scientist, or I should say perhaps security guard zombie, swipes, just pops out of nowhere like a horror film and swipes. But we're going to do a notice roll passively for Jax. He's looking in the direction. Okay, that did not work. All right, unfortunately, that's a fail. So the zombie swipes at Keera. So I'm going to have this zombie do a D6 attack against Keera's parry of 5. Oh, that's a 5. So it hits her. The swipe will be a D6 and a D4. So this will be damage roll against her toughness of 4, so pretty low. Oh, okay, she got lucky. 3. So it does not hit her, but it swipes at her tablet. It goes for her arm. It destroys the tablet screen. So that's been destroyed, cracks it, it falls off her arm, crashes onto the ground. Keera jumps back with her gun and starts opening fire at this other zombie who's wearing. This zombie's more intact, like his brain's not half missing. He's just very decayed. Parts of his body is showing, like his shirt's kind of ripped off. But it's a security guard, like an old 90s security guard dressed up. Has a badge and everything, and the badge says Tim. So opens fire. This will be one shot, obviously, with a Derringer, and shooting for her is a D6, and then the wild die, which is an additional D6. So at the parry of, 4. And yep, she's actually has a 6 there, which is an ace. So that's another 3. That's going to be 9 over 4. That's 1 raise, so that's an additional D6 for damage, which means she has 2D6 for the original, and then a third plus 1. So that's going to be 9, 10, 11. 11 damage on top of the toughness of 6, tier 2 creature of 6. So that's going to be, let's see, that's 9, 10, 11. So that's one raise, which means this other zombie, she takes a clean shot right at the head. Zombie falls back, collapses, killing it or neutralizing it. That's another zombie. Jax, he is furious. He says, "Now we got two zombies in this place. We got to get out of it. This is not worth the trouble. You just lost your tablet." He's pointing to the tablet on the ground. She's like, she doesn't have her phone anymore. Like that's her life's work right there. Her tablet was her go-to. That was her item. So she picks up the broken tablet. I have it crossed off. She still has it, but she tries to strap it on with the strap ripped. The tablet's cracked. It's like TV noise is showing it, it's static, and she can't do anything with it. She barely hears the AI voice coming in and out on the speaker. So she's going to put it in her bag, and now she's kind of flying blind if she was a pilot without a control. So she's frustrated. She's very angry right now. She's cursing to herself, talking to her broken tablet. She's like, remember, her other hindrance is a quirk, and she says, talk to tech. So she says like, piece of shit. She's walking back and forth, pacing. Jax is like furious. He's red. He's like, look, we got to get out of here. This place is practically. What's next? It's going to be haunted. We're going to be attacked by a poltergeist. The shelves are going to be thrown at us. And she walks up to this door here. She's not listening to Jax. She is in her own little world right now. And she sees that there's a key. There's a keypad with a swipe. She takes the key card, and Jax is kind of watching her back with the gun aimed this way. He says, "What are you doing now?" She swipes the keypad at that door, and let's ask the Oracle, does it actually open anything? I'm going to say 80% chance. Oh, yep, it takes a moment, but the door, there's still power in this place. The lights are flickering, it's very dim, and that noise you guys hear is just more so for atmospheric effect. But the door does open, and he jumps in the way, knowing that there could be more zombies or something. He pushes her back. What did you do? And it reveals this small storage room with a desk here, a chair. There are shelves all around, like that. This whole place is just covered with shelves. And as strange as it may sound, there are jars of brains all over these tables. So Jax lowers his weapon. Oh, well, let's see if is there anybody in here. I don't think there would be. That's going to be highly unlikely because the door is closed. But, there's always that chance. 25%. Nope, there's no one in here. It's completely empty. So there's no human in here. Is there a small animal or a rodent, perhaps? 75% chance. That's going to be nope. Okay, there's not. Remember, one of his hindrances is a phobia of mice. If there's a rat or a mouse running or scurrying around, he freaks out. But luckily, there's not. This place has not been touched for 20 plus years. He slowly walks inside, looks left and right, checks the aisles. Keera is also very curious as usual. She's looking over his shoulder. He's looking around, sticking the place out. And there is just jars and jars of brains, of human brains. Is the strangest thing he has ever seen in his life. And he walks to the middle of this room, towards the desk. Keera walks in. The door then closes behind them. They look back. The lights are on. She doesn't think the door is closed permanently, but Jax is more observant than anything. He's not really worried about the door. Keera is walking up to the table, and Jax is looking at all the jars of human brains. They're all in green goo, and he says to himself, "What the fuck? What is this place?" Keera walks behind the desk to see a briefcase that's underneath the desk itself. The desk is on the top is cleaned out. Well, maybe there's a map, there's a calendar with scribbled notes, but like a pencil holder. But there's actually a briefcase underneath the desk, and it's an old-looking Samsonite briefcase. So she takes it, and as she grabs it, it has the typical two combo. It has like a combo lock on it. So Jax here's the briefcase put on the table. He turns around, and Keera is looking at the briefcase. She's greedy. That's one of her hindrances, though it's minor. It's a minor greed. It's not like she's going to go rob a bank next day, but it's a minor hindrance. Jax walks up with his gun still in his hand, kind of lowered. He says, "What'd you find?" She's like, "I don't know. It's just a simple briefcase." So she's going to try just to press the combo button, see if it opens. The latch is just locked. That's obviously a no. It's a it's a four ring combo, and it would take 10,000 chances to figure out what it is. 10,000 plus whatever the number would be. And Jax says, "We don't have time for this. Whatever that is, let's just get out here and take it with us." She checks the drawers for anything. Let's see if she finds anything valuable. Not per se exactly what the item may be, but let's just roll to see if she finds anything of value for her. 50% chance. I don't know. She does. Okay, so she finds the following. Let's check with the Oracle. 2 descriptors. 30, 39. Heavy. Okay, so she finds a heavy item. 92. Small. It's a small heavy item. Okay. What will be a small heavy item? Maybe she finds a gun? You know what? I haven't used these in a while, but I have these tarot cards down here. I haven't used them for some time, but I'm going to bring them out just for this video. And she finds this. So, Knight of Charisma. It's this really bizarre looking helmet with one large eye. I'm thinking, okay, so here's what it is. It's a strange, solid golden ball that has texture on it. Let me draw it out. So it's a ball. There is these lines on it. Kind of has strange patterns. It's gold, and it's the color of gold, but it's actually metal. So she holds it. It's heavy. It's not too heavy. She picks it up. She shows Jax it. Jax is confused what that is. He's like, "What is that?" She says, "I have no idea." So she's going to pocket it because she is greedy. She's going to take that. I'm going to write down gold ball, whatever this may be. It might be something in the future. Who knows? But she pockets it. She pockets it. Nothing else in the drawers for now. If that was a stronger yes, that probably would have been another item, but it's not. So Jack said, "Well, let's just take the briefcase and get out of here." She wants to try the combo lock. She's fiddling with the combo lock. Jack says, "Why don't I just shoot the briefcase?" So she smiles, and that's actually a really good idea. So she steps back. He takes fire at the briefcase, and this will be. It's a briefcase. I mean, what else could I do? So let's do a +2 in the shooting roll. D8, a D6. I mean, if I snake eyes this, I'm gonna be pissed. Okay, as I expected, she's able to, or he shoots, but it does ace. So target number was 4 as usual, but that's 10 right there, which gives I'm not gonna have a damage for the briefcase. This is just another let's see, we have 10 over 4 plus 2, that's 12. So that's 2 raises, which means he shoots the briefcase, the locks, let's just say shoots one of the locks, and she opens it as she gets closer to it. She steps back up to the briefcase, opens it, and it is a large briefcase of chips, of computer chips. There are these old RAM sticks. It's just a bunch of them. There's hard drives in there. There are CDs. It's just a bunch of old tech, old data storage devices. Maybe like M-Track or like tape-based data tapes. Okay, let's say they're data tapes. So she finds a briefcase of data tapes, and they're all labeled dates, like 1978, 1988, 1994. They're just random dates from the 80s and 90s, and they're all data recordings on tape. So he's like, "What the hell?" And she's smiling. She's like, "I think we just found a treasure trove of items of history here." So She takes a couple of them. She doesn't want to take the whole briefcase. That will slow her down. I don't think she has room for a whole briefcase in her backpack. But she takes, let's say she can pocket 4 of those data tapes that have from the briefcase itself. So she puts the briefcase back underneath the desk, and Jack says, "Now the door." So walks up to the door. It has the same. It has the same key card reader. So she taps the key card reader, and the door's open. As the door opens, let's ask the Oracle: is there anything behind the door? With what happened earlier, the zombie surprise attack, I'm going to say possibly. That's going to be, let's say, 60% chance. Ooh, nothing. 80. Okay, there's nothing behind the door. So they walk slowly up, and Jax is going down the stairs. Keera stops. She's looking this way. There's, a whole opportunity to explore much, much more. But Jax grabs her arm, says, "We're not doing this again. We're getting back on mission and getting back on track. We lost valuable time. You found some things. Let's head it back out." She did find some things, and that's ultimately what she wanted to do. But there's still, this whole area here to explore. She's kind of conflicted, but he says, "No, we got to go." So kind of grabs her arm, takes her out, and they are going to leave this mysterious area. So that's going to be it for the episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. Um, the team found a few items. They had a couple of encounters, a couple of easy encounters actually, but the zombie crew of this building makes me think that this area had an accident, and it wasn't just this one building. So hopefully this led to some lore development and some hints for our next episode. Now they're outside, and they'll make their way, hopefully, to the Arclight facility without being distracted once again. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.